Hi, my name is Melinda Smith from Noble Works, the leading provider of Enneagram workshops in Australia. This video is part of a series about this ancient tool for personality profiling and development called the Enneagram. We've partnered with Port Stephens Council in New South Wales, Australia, to share our learnings about the value of using the Enneagram as a tool for personal and organisational transformation in the workplace. The Council has made a significant commitment during the past decade to develop staff to be the best they can be by using the Enneagram. Self-awareness is a key leadership competency. Self-aware people transform themselves and their organisations. In this episode, we'll be talking about the Enneagram Type 3. I'm here with John Maritech from Port Stephens Council, who is going to share with us how the knowledge of the Enneagram has improved and helped develop relationships and performance, personally and professionally. So John, welcome.
Thank you.
Can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
I've been at Council for about 17 years now. I'm currently now the Asset Section Manager and I have about 30 staff. So about myself, essentially I'm a person that likes to achieve, likes to get things done. I hate wasting time. Enjoy life as much as possible, but there's always that constant pressure to try and get things done, not waste any time at all.
Okay, so we're going to go into that a little bit deeper, but first, how are you using the tool of the Enneagram with your people here at Council?
It's been about 8 years since I first come across the Enneagram, and it was more about understanding how people respond to certain situations. Once I then started to realise that everybody responds differently, or how they respond, I can then have a better conversation, a better relationship with my people. And that's not just at work, that's at home as well.
So it's deepened relationships?
Oh, it's definitely deepened relationships. If you're trying to have a relationship with someone, whether it's a work colleague or at home or somewhere else, not understanding their point of view or understanding where they're coming from, it just becomes two people not having a connection, and therefore there's no relationship, there's no communication.
Well, you touched on it briefly, but let's deep dive now. Tell us about the world of a Type 3.
Type 3. Very competitive. I have a sense that when I walk into a room, I can definitely feel the room. While I can't pick personality characters very well, I can definitely sense what's happening in a room at a point in time. I like writing lists, ticking them off, achieving goals. There's no tomorrow, there's always, let's do something right now and don't waste my time. It's time to get something done.
Right. And where do you think that driving force is coming from?
I think it's just a natural instinct to do that. When you're in the rawest sense, the native or the natural desire is just to do something very quickly and very fast. Don't waste my time, let's get a move on, let's make it happen.
Well, you sound highly productive. What are some of the other gifts of a Type 3 that you bring to the organisation?
Getting things done, without a doubt, making things happen. Spontaneity is good. Building relationships and understanding others, having a feeling for what other people are doing and trying to get the best out of them.
You lead a team here at Port Stephens Council. What in particular about the Enneagram has helped you to become the leader that you want to be and to be able to encourage and guide the people that you lead?
I think that in my youth, I would have just thought everybody wanted to do something. Everybody wanted to go faster, harder, and didn't understand why people wouldn't want to go in that direction. But using the Enneagram, you get an appreciation of what other people are doing. There's a stimulus and response. How do they physically respond to a stimulus is different. Once you get an appreciation of what other people are, how they respond, you can then tailor your discussion with them or tailor your relationship with them to try and get the most out of them, and then they can understand you as well.
Do you think that's a bit of an aha moment for Type 3s when you recognise that other people are not approaching or delivering to the standards that a Type 3 has?
Oh, it definitely is, because your expectations or your own filters on others, you can never push that onto someone else. Not everybody's different. But trying to get them to behave in the way that you behave is not appropriate.
What are some of the strategies as a Type 3 that you've been working on in yourself to be a better leader at work?
Stop, breathe, listen.
Talk me through that.
So when you want to do something, you want to be a human doing as opposed to a human being. You're constantly doing something, and you never stop to think, is this right? Is this right for now? And when you're constantly doing something, and threes have a propensity to be a workaholic. So something I've been working on is to ensure that I understand that I'm here right now. I've stopped. I'm breathing. I'm actually listening, and I put my heart back in my body, and I'm saying, okay, what is everybody feeling? How is everybody going? And understanding that other people are human beings as well. Let's stop and enjoy the world right now.
That's a great segue into the next question. Stress and anger for a 3, how does that show up?
Irritability. Let's go faster, let's make it harder. And irritability is probably the biggest form of stress or anger that would come out.
Right, can you go a little bit deeper than that? So what's an example of that in the workplace?
In the workplace, if there's a desire to get something done, or there's a project that must be done and there's deadlines to meet, people not making decisions or coming to a result at the right time becomes a stressful situation for myself. And that's where I step back and go, okay, let's stop, breathe and listen again, and try and find out how everybody's feeling and what makes them tick and what makes myself tick to ensure that we reach the desired goals.
If I'm working with a type 3 in the workplace, what are some of the things I can be mindful of or develop to have a really good working relationship?
There's a couple of things. One is let me know that I'm doing a good job if it is actually well deserved. Don't keep giving it out.
Because type 3s like authenticity.
They do like authenticity, and we get embarrassed with compliments. Even though we do like a compliment, we do get quite embarrassed. Setting the parameters and clarity. So if you've asked me to do something, or you've given me direction to do something, if I don't have clarity, I'll come back to you and reiterate what you've just told me, so I can set the boundaries so that I know how to succeed in getting that job done.
And I'm probably putting you on the spot here, but has there been an example in the workplace that you can give me of that?
Oh, every day.
A recent one?
It's any task that's whenever given, or whenever you realise there's a gap and you need to do something. It's about gathering all your people together, trying to understand what the expectations are of everybody. So it always comes back down to expectations and getting clarity before heading down a path. And that's something that's learnt, because traditionally a 3 will just go, let's go and make it happen, let's do it fast without stopping and thinking. So just getting that clarity and understanding what the expectations are is important.
So would you say the Enneagram has been a tool of greater self-awareness for you as a leader?
Oh, definitely. And again, in my youth, I would have thought that everybody just wanted to achieve, and we all thought the same, and the human race was all the same. I knew that we were all different, but not with these types of filters. Just getting an understanding of what makes me respond to a situation and what makes other people respond has been definitely an eye-opener.
And over the years, what changes have you noticed by employing that?
I've had a better relationship. Work is one thing and family is another thing. But I found this tool great for work, but it's been life-changing. As much of a cliche that sounds, Enneagram's been a life-changer for me at home, just to get an appreciation of how your family ticks and how to build a better relationship with your wife and kids and your parents and everybody else.
Finally, what are some of the observations you've made about the value to the organisation here at Port Stephens Council, about the learnings and then applying the knowledge of the Enneagram in an everyday work situation?
Again, it's just about understanding other people, how they respond, and trying to get the best out of them. And without understanding other people, if you try and get your filter onto everybody else, it's not going to be a happy place. It's about understanding how people work, how they respond to a situation, and tailoring yourself like a chameleon, because 3s can be a chameleon, is tailoring yourself to ensure that they're in a happy space, their expectations are being met, and that they're all achieving the goals that the organisation would like us to achieve.
Such type 3 language
it
there.
Is.
What, just as an addition, Port Stephens Council using this tool over the last decade, quite progressive in the local government sector. What are your thoughts on that?
When I find like-minded people who understand the Enneagram, and then they find out that I work in local government, they go, okay, that's quite different, that the organisation will take us through some of the tools that we've been through. My understanding from local government and other industries, they'll go through the traditional other personality profiling types, but not to the depth that we go through here. And especially since we've learnt about Enneagrams and what it actually means for you. Again, it's not just about work. It's about your personal growth and about your family growth as well.
And what do you think that's saying about Port Stephens Council as an organisation and looking after its people?
People are the most important thing. I know we get busy with doing things, but technically and in reality, people are the most important thing in this organisation. And taking care of your people means you're taking care of the organisation.
John, thank you for your time today, and thank you for sharing with us what it's like to be a Type 3.
Thank you very much for having me.
Join us for another episode where you can learn more about each of the 9 Enneagram personality types as people share their journey, observations and insights. Also, check out our podcast series, Understanding Your Enneagram, on iTunes or our website.